Welcome to Prasanna Vidya Mandir Senior Secondary School. I am Shanta, going to take class 6 social science from the subject history. The lesson name is the Mauryan Empire. We have divided this lesson into two parts. So the first part which we are going to see now, and my co-teacher is Subhashri, who is going to handle this. Here, learning objective. What you are going to learn in this lesson. So you are going to learn about the origin and the rule of Mauryans. And you're going to know about the great ruler, Mauryan ruler, Ashoka, and the Kalinga War in this first video. End of this section, you are going to learn your outcome. After learning, your outcome is you will be able to explain the origin and the rule of Mauryans. And you're going to describe about the Chandragupta Maurya, describe about the Kalinga War. Let's see the introduction first. So this is the Mauryan Empire, where the Mauryas ruled. The capital of Magadha is Pataliputra. Here it is. The first empire of India was founded by Chandragupta Maurya. The empire covered large part of India, which includes Bihar, Odisha, Bengal, Western and Northern Western India, and the parts of Deccan. In fact, it excludes Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and parts of northeastern India also. And if we take this into an account, overall, the Mauryan ruled over all over the Indian subcontinent. See, here we can see the western part and the northwestern part of India. And again, we can see the northeastern and the eastern part of India. So overall, if we see, it has covered so many areas. All the power was in the hands of the emperor, who ruled from the capital of Pataliputra. So the Mauryans' capital, the first established capital was Pataliputra. Here you can see in this map, it is darkly highlighted, Pataliputra with the star mark. So here, all this red highlighted, these are the places where they have ruled widely. Understood? These are the some places. So these are the major cities actually. The red highlighted circle is the major cities, and the triangles are the Buddhist sites. Here, the great Ashoka was the follower of Buddhist. So this triangle highlights is the Buddhist sites, right? These are the current countries and the boundaries of these states. Okay, we'll move on to the next. Sources and the information about Mauryans. So the first, as we have studied even in the 6th standard, there are two sources of information. One is archaeological sources and the second one is literary sources. So here we are going to some of the sources here. We are going to see about the Chandragupta Maurya and the Chanakya. So the account of Megasthenes, the Greek ambassador of Seleucus Nicator in the court of Chandragupta Maurya, gives us the valuable information about the political, economic, and social conditions of that time. This book is named as Indica. You can see the book. Megasthenes wrote a book called Indica. It's a primary source of edition. And he is the person named as Seleucus Nicator. He is a Seleucus Nicator. And the another important source of this period is book named as Arthasastra. This is the book Arthasastra. If you would have know about this, in Tamil we used to say Olaichodigal. It's like that. So this is the book named as Arthasastra, written by Kautilya or Chanakya. He is Chanakya, the chief advisor of Chandragupta Maurya. Right? There are two sources. And another unique source of information about Mauryans were the inscription of the king Ashoka, the grandson of Chandragupta. Through this inscription, carved on rock pillars, Ashoka tried to communicate with his subject and tried to spread his ideas of peace and harmony among them. So, the unique information about the Mauryan Empire is about the King Ashoka. Ashoka is one of the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya, and he has carved an inscription. So it is as in rock pillars where he tried to communicate about the communicate with the subject, and he tried to spread the vast ideas of peace and harmony with the peoples. So move on to the Chandragupta Maurya, the empire builder, where the Alexander, the world famous Greek conqueror, attacked India in 326 BC. The Nandas were ruling Magadha. Their rule had become unpopular. So the Nanda dynasty ruled Magadha. Their ruling became unpopular. By taking this an advantage, Chandragupta Maurya succeeded the Nandas and founded the Mauryan dynasty. Understood? When there is a decline in Nanda dynasty, Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded the dynasty, Nanda dynasty, and he founded the dynasty called Mauryan dynasty. His guide and mentor was a Brahmana named Kautilya, the author of Arthasastra. You have seen the picture of Kautilya or Chanakya in the previous slide, and is the book written by the Chanakya about Chandragupta Maurya was known as Arthasastra. The Mauryan Empire was the first empire in Indian history. So India's first empire is Mauryan Empire. Okay. Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by Bindusara. Bindusara's son Ashoka, who succeeded him in 273 BC, the greatest of Mauryan rulers. He is Bindusara and he is Ashoka, the king, the great king. So now we are moving, as we have seen in the introduction part, is a rock pillars as an inscription. This is the rock pillar. You can see here it is a rock pillar. It's a pillar where there was a mark inscripted as lions. Inscription was there. Ashoka was the first Indian king and perhaps the first king in the world to speak directly to his subjects through his inscription. So he tried to explain about his subjects through the inscription. And this inscription was engraved on rocks and pillars, or founded all over in vast empire. They were written in Brahmi script for a large part of India. Northwestern part, they were written in Kharoshthi script, or in Afghanistan, it is called as Aramaic, and in Greek scripts. Okay. This inscription tells us about the policies of Ashoka. Next, we are moving on to the Kalinga War. This is the end of this part. Ashoka fought only one major war during his region with Kalinga. So he fought only, Ashoka, the great king, fought only the one major, very vast war, very big war. That is a major war, which is called Kalinga War. His war with Kalinga proved to be a turning point in his life. So this made Ashoka to change and bring a peace and harmony in his life into the country. He was shocked to see the death and destruction caused by the war. When there was a vast war happened, he saw so many peoples were died, and there was a destructions between the peoples and the animals and so many things. There were more cavalries, horses, elephants has been used for this war. The bloodshed and the heavy massacre occurred during this war brought a great suffering to the people, which caused Ashoka much grief and remorse. So when he saw the lot of bloodshed and the heavy massacre occurred during this war, this has caused Ashoka with much grief and remorse. So he gave up the wars and decided to spread the message of love, peace, and brotherhood. So he don't want to move on further proceeding into the wars, and he had tried to spread his subject with the love, peace, and harmony, everything. He is the only king who had the moral courage to give up the war, because of the historians gave him the title called Ashoka the Great. So when he tried to spread the peace and harmony to the country, for this reason, he had a great courage to spread, to give up the wars. He don't want any more wars in further in future years. So he tried to explain everything, and he started spreading peace into the country. So this, because of this reason, Ashoka has got the name as Ashoka the Great. He has got a title called Ashoka the Great. As we know, some of the kings has got the title called Maharaja the Raja, and so many Tribhuvana Chakravarti. Like that, here the Ashoka got the title called Ashoka the Great. Right? So it will be continued in the second part. Till then, bye-bye, children. Take care of yourself. We'll see in the second section.